Ah, Moshi. Oh, what a great servant of the Most High. How he did great things with Father. But you know, people don't realize that the new covenant that we are waiting on, well, let's say that Moshe gave us a great hint to that new covenant. A secret, if you will. You know, wisdom is a funny thing. King Solomon wrote that she was greater than the most precious of jewels, of silver and gold. And if you find her, and when you find her, he said, look for her. Seek her. She's a great treasure. And indeed, she is a great treasure. You know, you can read the Torah, or some call it the Bible. You can read it all your life and learn the knowledge of it, but the wisdom of it is hid away. Hid away. But if you seek wisdom with everything that you have and you find her, she's like a magnifying glass to the Torah. The things you didn't see, the things you missed, all of a sudden become magnified. And I'm going to show you one of those magnifications. Although there are many here with Moshe, I'm going to show you a very important one, and it has to do with the new covenant of the last days. And it's very, very, very important. You know, our living Creator said that He, in the last days, is going to make a new covenant with His people. And this time He is going to write His covenant on our hearts. Your inward parts. So that no one ever has to teach anything again so that it's unnecessary, A, and B, you cannot be deceived. No one can use the scriptures to deceive anymore, because the scriptures will be in your spirit, your soul, your heart, and everything that you are. No longer will anyone teach he and his brother. But let's look at what he told us. Let's look at the wisdom. Father was ready to make a covenant and fill the people with his spirit. But they were too afraid, so therefore he made a covenant with his people. Now let's take a look at a special part of it. He went up the mountain, and Father made 2 stone tablets that he wrote 10 commandments on. And while Moshe was up there, there was many amongst the people that decided to fashion a golden calf, and they were dancing and partying basically and bowing to it, and decided it was their God, because apparently Moshe was gone away and he wasn't coming back. But Moshe come back down and saw what the people had did, and it angered him. Man, it angered him so much. So what he did was he took those stone tablets that Father had created, and he threw them on the rocks and broke the stone tablets. And that's very important for this teaching. So after Aaron, and they all ended up killing all of those that broke the covenant, or rather were dancing around the, excuse me, I am getting older. But those that were dancing around and bowing down to another God. So Moshe, of course, at some point went back up the mountain, and Father said, this time when you come up to me, you have to go and create the stone tablets for me to write the covenant on. You go and fashion them and make them right. So he did, and he took them back up, and Father wrote the covenant, the 10 commandments again on the 2 stone tablets, and brought it back down and put the tablets in the ark. Now, you have to understand relationships. Moshe represented the Most High to the people because they didn't want Father talking to them anymore through that pillar of fire. They wanted Moshe. So he became the voice of the Most High to the people, and he became the voice of the people to the Most High. In other words, Moshe was the representative of the Most High. Now, when the children of Israel came into the land, they kept following other gods. And they kept going away, and Father kept sending them prophets over and over again to bring them back to him. And eventually they ended up breaking their covenant with the Most High. And then Father broke his covenant with the people. And he said that he would smash it to pieces. His covenant with the people. Just as Moshe smashed the stone tablets to pieces. Forgive me for my primitive, I'm not very tech savvy. 2 stone tablets were broken. What you don't see is those stone tablets represent the hearts of the children of Israel. And because their hearts were made of stone, he wrote the covenant, the commandments on stone. But he said in the last days, he would turn their hearts of stone to hearts of flesh so he can write his new covenant on their hearts, their inward parts. He broke the covenant. And before he can make the new covenant with you, you have to, because like Moshe, he broke the covenant to pieces. And like Moshe, you have to fashion him two more stones. Or rather, your heart. You have to fashion your heart to be a heart of flesh, so he can write his covenant on your heart and your flesh. This is the way it is designed for the new covenant. He is going to take the 10 Commandments, because they are the mystery to the new covenant and the beginning of it. And once you break your hearts of stone and reveal your hearts of flesh, then he will make the new covenant. The first way to make your hearts of stone hearts of flesh is his name. And that's a different teaching. I'm going to leave it there for now. But I do have some good news. We are in those times spoken of. I hope you're ready.